Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Touching You Talk Show. This is Elder Sheila, and guess what? I have a very special guest online with me today in the person of Rochelle Kent. And guess what? For some reason, my Elder Sheila Black, it is not going live on that page. So if it's not going live on that page, that's not good.
Okay, no problem. We'll fix it. We'll get to it.
Yeah, yeah. So how are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful, doing very good, feel very blessed and loved. And uh, real quick, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has reached out to me and just shared their love and any resources that they have. For me and the people that I know, it's a lot, and your kindness is welcomed. And I appreciate you, and the other people that I'm able to help with your generosity, they appreciate you as well.
Wonderful. So, I like to ask my guests, I'm going to put on here, we are live. I like to ask my guests, how long have we known each other?
We have known each other for over a year now. Over a year and some change. A year and some change.
Okay.
Um, so and uh once I started going to Day Spring, and the little lady with the red hair just found another short lady who doesn't have red hair and came over and spoke with me and has been pouring into me ever since.
And
So
the rest is history, huh?
the rest is history.
Baby, when I tell you this young lady right here, she works our children's part. And when I tell you they sang, they sang, they sang, it's such a blessing to see you in ministry and to see the Lord God use you. It is such a blessing.
Well, thank you. I love working with the children. I love music. I feel that like music it goes beyond languages and borders and anything that you can think of. And so once you add God to it, it's just amazing. And if I can get children to feel the joy of Jesus, and that's really what I want everyone to always feel around me, is the joy of Jesus. If they're able to feel that, then I feel like I'm helping to plant seeds to keep them as they grow older.
Well,
So
that's good. That's good. So, the purpose of our meeting today is you're a local celebrity. That's the purpose. You're our resident Dayspring Family Church and resident Touching You Talk Show host celebrity, and she has been interviewed on on TV. I got some candy in my mouth. On
I
TV, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this lady right here, I know her. So how did that?
yeah. The wonderful journalist here in the DFW area, Sean Rabb on Fox 4 News, our local station, he had posted on Facebook asking people to contact him if you're being impacted by the SNAP benefits being reduced and the shutdown overall. And really, what I was reaching out to him about was because I'm one of those people that believes the teaching of John Lewis, start good trouble, necessary trouble. So I was trying to find out information really about uh, people who have their SNAP benefits. Would they be able to access any remaining balances from October and November? Because I was reading articles that other states, that once November 1st hit, even remaining balances were not going to be accessible because the cards were just not going to be processing payments. So that's really what I reached out to him about. When I reached out to him, I also reached out to the office of Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett as well, because I'm in her district. And he responded first. I asked him my questions. He said he was looking into it, but he wanted to come out and interview me. And so I gave him an earful Trust me, he cut down a lot of what I said because I mean, I think we were out there for like probably a good 10 minutes talking um because there's just so many people that are impacted. It's so much bigger than me and my family. Um than the South Dallas community. There's just so many people being impacted by this. And unfortunately, the information's not easy to find, especially here in Texas. And a lot of times it's conflicting. So I was just trying to get the information because I know the people in my circle, I want them to be able to see me as a reliable source to get information and resources.
So, how does this affect your family, first of all?
So, my family, we are currently SNAP recipients. It because I'm so politically minded, I've been following this for a while, so I had kind of inkling that this was going to happen about back in September. So I started kind of budgeting our SNAP benefits then, um, so that I could carry some over into November in case something happens. I usually do that for the holidays anyway, try to budget. And so for us, with me having two disabled children who have kind of special dietary needs, it does hit, you know. The SNAP benefits aren't buying, lobster scuba for the household and T-bone steaks. It's so that I can get the lactose free milk, which is more expensive than the regular milk. Um, it's so I can get the protein enriched spaghetti, because they have sensory issues. So I have to sneak in the food and the vitamins however I can, it's really what it helps with that. And so not having it, um, it's it's very unfortunate. It makes things inconvenient, but I'm grateful for the support in the community that I have because people have rallied around to kind of make it a little bit softer for me and my boys.
That's good. That's good. So, tell me about your conversation with Sean. What did y'all talk about?
So we talked about a lot. I told him that I'm really tired of the politics of all of this because I at this point, I mean, if you know me, you can probably guess politically how I lean. But I really don't care who anybody voted for. I'm worried about, the elderly. Because this current administration, they cut funding to Meals on Wheels. They're changing what it means to be disabled. They're increasing the work requirements where you have to be 65 or older in order to qualify for food stamps and not be working, where it used to be 55. Um, all of these things are happening, and we have people who honestly are only getting $55 a month that buys them some soups to carry over. Well, you just took that away, and you took away 2 days of their Meals on Wheels. So now we have elderly that might be eating one meal a day.
Mm.
That bothers me. It bothers me. I've talked to Sean Rabb about the fact that a lot of times when I work as a substitute, and I purposely try to find schools that are Title I schools, and those are usually schools that are the population mostly of those students are on free or reduced lunch. They're SNAP recipients. They're low income. Um, when kids are hungry, they get angry. Angry and hungry makes hangry. and they can't learn. And then we have behavior issues. And then we just changed the laws to make it easier to expel kids from school for behavior issues. So it's to me, I was just talking to Sean Rabb about, the politics of it all is hurting Americans across the board. And I think we really should all just sit back and look at who is in power right now and who's fighting for us to be able to care for each other and take care of each other like we're called to do as Christians, and who's fighting for us to be individualized and only think about I got mine, so you better get yours.
That's terrible. You know, I've heard people say that I don't want my money used for that. What do you say to people that say that?
I think that is very short-sighted because let me find I'm gonna tap into my pastor Sonia Dickerson so I can find my lady likeness so I don't go wrong.
Okay.
um there are people. I grew up in North Irving, okay, my whole entire life. There are people that I know. Not only were they getting the free and reduced lunch, some of them were getting the apple butter and honey sandwich with the 1% milk because their families could not afford for them to have lunch every day. And these same people are saying, I don't want my tax dollars to go to that. So do you want your tax dollars to go to buying beef from Argentina? Do you want your tax dollars to go to private jets flying here and there to debate college students? Like what is it that you want? Because I feel that if we say that we are Christians, and a lot of times I hear this from many people who say that they're Christians, I ask them, so kind of like what Bishop Dickerson taught on Sunday. Okay, well, what are you doing to meet that need? We're the hands and the feet of Christ. He he not down here. It's us. So
Right.
what are you so my question is when people are like, I don't want my tax dollars going to that. So what do you want it to go to? And are your tax dollars going to that?
Wow.
Because I doubt that it is.
That's a good question.
I mean, let's just be honest. Because if people can eat, then people can work. The more that they can work, if you own a business, the more profits you get. Don't you want to have a healthy, fed workforce?
Right.
You
Right.
would think. So feed them or pay them a living wage so they don't need it. Those are our two options.
So how are they redefining being disabled? How are they redefining that?
So they are, and this is something that has been going on in Texas for a while. Now it's going on national scale. Basically, you're going to have to keep showing, even if you have a long term illness, you're going to have to get reevaluations and get doctors exemptions. So let's say um, you there example there are people that have colostomy bags, right? And there are people in their 20s 30s that have this isn't for elderly people. There's people that have that. Well, because they have that, they will not automatically be considered disabled. They have to get a note from their doctor saying they can only work X amount of hours.
Mm,
um they have to apply and reapply. And as we've seen here in Texas, whenever the government starts restructuring some of these um, services, people get accidentally kicked off. When you get accidentally kicked off, the onus is on you to resubmit all your brand new paperwork. The clock starts over. So you submitted paperwork from 6 years ago. Now you need to go get paperwork that's from within like the last 2 years.
wow.
Okay. That's not as easy to do because probably doctors have changed and everything. So
I
now
was
you
gonna
get
say, is that free? Isn't that like you literally have to go for a doctor visit?
you have to go for a doctor visit. You got to pay those copays. You got to, if you're working, you got to take off of work. So it almost feels at times that the systems are closing in to make it very difficult for people to honestly just live and make it through. And that's what I'm trying to just get more information out there for everybody and try to get more people to just understand why we need community more now than ever before.
So I heard a lady on nightly news who she had a child with severe disabilities, and even she will not be getting benefits.
Yes. Yes.
So
Be-
I mean,
because
say to encourage that person that know that their benefits now. I know that they said that they will be doing partial funding now,
partial,
and that
but
it would be maybe 50%. So
and it's
what do you say to that person to encourage them?
well, first, there is partial funding. It is up to each state how it gets rolled out. So Texas, with our amazing governor, may not be rolling out our partial payments as quickly as some other states. So just everybody hang on with that.
That's good
But
information.
for people that are dealing with that, I would say, listen, something that I had to do. One, swallow your pride and be honest. Say, hey, I need help, because there are people that are looking at you. There are people that were looking at me. They're like, I have no idea. Have no idea, because they have it in their brain that, people are supposed to look a certain way if you're on any kind of benefits. If you get SSI, if you um, get food stamps, anything, if you get anything, then, you know, we have it in our head what they look like, what they sound like. And so be honest. Be like, tell the people around you, hey, I need help. That's the first thing. Second thing, don't be afraid to go get the help. You're going to have to go to food pantries. You may have to go to a clothes closet. You may not be buying your child's jacket at Macy's this year for winter. You might be going to the Goodwill. It's okay. It is okay. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's for some people it sounds like just feel good church things, but honestly, I can say that everything ebbs and flows. So right now you may be down low. That's not how it's going to be forever. So just
Good.
wake up in the morning, decide, look, I can't control what they're doing in Washington besides voting, which you can do tomorrow. I can't control what they do in Washington or in Austin or wherever your capital of your state is, but you can't control how you view it. And so, just be honest, ask for help, and accept the help when it comes your way.
So, is there anything in particular that you can think of that we may need to, or that you would like to highlight as far as when we're making decisions tomorrow? Are there any particular issues or items we need to make sure that we pay attention to?
So first, just know, okay, I want you guys to be very careful when you're going to the polling locations. Remember that you can't wear things that support a specific candidate or party. So your MAGA hats, leave them at the house. Uh, um, uh, Biden, Hillary, whatever you're wearing, I mean, you can wear an American flag, that's fine, but don't because that's not allowed. You cannot use your cell phone while you're in the polling location. So, here in Texas, we have 17 propositions that we need to vote on. So, how do you figure that out? You can print out a sample ballot. It says sample across it, but it has listed every proposition. Okay. And you can find that at the League of Women Voters, their website. You can also find that usually at the Dallas County, or your whatever county you live in the state of Texas. They have a voter website where you can go and check your voter registration. Make sure that you have proper ID with you, because you do need that. And then, as far as voting, I'm not going to tell people how to vote, but I will say that there are a lot of propositions right now that are trying to take money away from your local governments, which is like by taxpayer dollars. Those taxpayer dollars, that's what funds your public schools. And for Texas, we just had the Texas version of the big beautiful bill go through that includes the voucher system. Well, if we're not funding our public schools, then our public schools will fail. And unlike private schools and charter schools, public schools have to accept every student. Every student, regardless of their disability, their learning ability, they have to accept every student. So they need the funding. So just think about that when you go into that and when you go into
Okay,
votes.
so
Just that.
okay, so I'm going to share my screen. So on the League of Women Voters
Hmm.
website, where do we print out the sample ballot?
Okay. Let me pull it up because I don't have my glasses on. So hold on.
And maybe I should have just Googled sample ballot for Texas. Could I just do that?
Yes. So Dallas County elections will have a sample
Okay.
ballot, and they'll let you put in your
Okay.
name and your date of birth, and then they'll pull up the sample ballot for you. Dallas County elections. Tarrant County elections
So,
does the same.
so is it going to be the exact same for Dallas County and Tarrant County, or is it different?
So it could be different, just because the different precincts that you're in. Because some areas are voting for school board members, some cities are voting for like their judges and things like that. So, but this could give you a sample ballot just for the propositions, and that the propositions are statewide. So if you need that, you can use that.
You still there?
Yep.
I'm
I'm
having
still
like
there.
some okay.
But you're on the right website.
This look like okay right here. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
put this in the chat. Print
Yes.
out your sample ballot.
Mhm. And you put in your information and it'll give you everything that you need right there.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to Tarrant. Tarrant County. Okay, so while I'm doing this, what else can you think of we need to talk about as it
Um,
relates to this?
oh, going, since you're doing the voting thing, another way that if you want to help people during this shutdown, um, a lot of food pantries, they are accepting food items, but what helps them the most is money, because a lot of these food pantries, they have special pricing and special deals with with not just restaurants, but with grocers and food producers. And so actually your money goes a lot further with them. It also helps them purchase like extra refrigerators and ice to keep things cold and transport things. So if you can donate money to those organizations, because it does go a lot further. Um, and check with your local churches. Many of the churches are doing food drives and giveaways. They have clothes closets. There are
Now,
services
I
around.
know that our church, yeah,
Yeah. You know, Dayspring has the miracle on Beltline that they do every year around Thanksgiving. So and they constantly serve thousands of families. But, if you need something before Thanksgiving and even after, maybe you're not a SNAP recipient and you're just hitting a hard time. Maybe you worked for the federal government and you're forlorn and you've been laid off, or you still got to go to work but you haven't been getting paychecks. There are quite a few organizations in the DFW area that will not just help you with food, but they can also help you with paying or getting discounts your um, on your electric bill or your gas bill or your water bill. Um, you know, um, they may require you to fill out some paperwork. It does take time, but like I said before, swallow your pride, get the help. Don't let a little paperwork stop you and make you struggle needlessly when it's there
Right.
and people want to help you.
Amen. Amen. I love that. Okay. So, what else can you tell us? There were some other things. Did you tell me everything you wanted to tell me? Let's see.
Um oh, real quick, I know we were talking about a lot. This has been in the news about how on November 1st, a lot of SNAP recipients lost their benefits. Now we may be getting partial benefits. But also on November 1st is when the healthcare open marketplace opened up. Unfortunately, one of the parts of the shutdown is that a lot of people's premiums are going up. So these are for people that maybe you work a part-time job, or maybe you're working a temp job and you don't have health insurance through your job, or you can't afford the health insurance through your job because of what you get paid. You used to be able to go to the open marketplace, also known as Obamacare, and you could get a reduction in what you had to pay for your premiums. Some people didn't have to pay anything at all based on what they were making. Now, some people have gone from paying nothing to paying $500 a month.
Ooh, ooh.
People have gone from paying 150 to paying 800. I've even seen some people saying that for them and for them and their kids, it's now $1,700 a month for health insurance.
Ooh.
Now, if you add that in along
Ooh.
with your rent, along with your childcare before or after school, how do you stay afloat? How do you stay afloat? So I want people to know that when they talk about the shutdown and they're saying, oh, it's because they want to give undocumented people health care, that's not what happens. You can't get Medicaid if you're undocumented. You have to be here legally. And the way that they were here legally is that they were refugees, like the ones that come from Ukraine, or they were seeking asylum because maybe they were victims of human trafficking and sex trafficking. Well, now they don't qualify. They don't
Mm.
qualify anymore. Um, for as far as SNAP benefits, the new standard that went in on November 1st, it used to be if you were homeless or you were a veteran, you could get SNAP benefits even if you weren't working. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Mm. Mm.
You know, again, it goes back to who are we helping? Who are we helping? What are our tax dollars going to, if not to help the least of us, the ones that need it the most?
Right.
So, um, I just want everybody just do what you can. And sometimes it doesn't have to be big. You can cause a small ripple in the pond. Okay. You don't have to help everybody in the DFW area, everybody in Texas, everybody in your whole entire state. There might be somebody on your street that maybe there's a family down the street that has like 2 or 3 kids. Don't just assume. You know what I'm saying? If you have something extra, put it in a bag, take it over and be like, hey, I had extra. You don't you There you go. If they don't want it, if they don't need it, what harm is in it? They'll
Right,
probably pass it on,
right,
you
right.
know, and
Or you could
and
just be like one of those people that just drop it off on the porch,
yeah,
ring the
you just
doorbell, and leave.
and leave. And you just let people deal. Trust me, I have had so many angels this last week come through for me and my boys in so many ways, and I'm grateful for it. I'm not asking for it, and I'm not being, oh, woe is me. That's not why I'm doing interviews or I'm talking about this. I really want others to get help. That's it. I really want others to get help. And so, you know, we have to just come together as a community, um because that's what we're called to do. That is what
So,
we are called to do.
so let's recap how an individual can empower themselves. First of all, you said let go of the pride. Let's go
Mhm.
back down that list.
Okay. To empower yourself, let go of the pride. Absolutely. You can't be prideful. You need help. Say, I need help. Let people know. Let people know. Some of us are so good at masking. I know I am. And we come in with a smile, and nobody knows that we're going home riding on fumes in our car, you know, after we just got done volunteering. Hey, ask, just say, hey, I need help. Okay. Um, Two, be prepared when you go to these different food pantries or these different organizations. Be prepared to fill out paperwork. It's just paperwork, y'all. And I understand it's hard when they ask you, how much do you make annually? And you got to write that number down. And you're like, oh, Jesus, how am I making it on this annually? you know, but write it down. Write it down, because especially now when there's so much misinformation being put out there, the only way they'll be able to advocate and ask for more funds and say that there's a need there is if we're honest about what we need. Right now they're thinking everybody that's making $20 an hour, that's enough for you to live off of for a family of 4.
Not so.
Not so. Not so. I don't know if you know this, but they're saying that the average family gets $4,200 a year in food stamps that are SNAP recipients. That comes down to $2.91 per day per person in a family of 4.
And you can't go to McDonald's and hurt. I mean, did they
No,
still have the dollar
there's
menus?
no dollar menu. Okay. Okay. We don't have the Mrs. Bear's bread. Remember how you used to be able to go to her little resale shop and get the discount bread, and
The
you
day
can't
old bread.
get that. You can't go to the day old bread store no more. It's not there. So could you live off of? Could you feed yourself with $2.91 a day? That's what people are getting.
Beans and rice and beans, the way Bishop was preaching the other day.
Yes, but yes, but you still got to look at them prices of the rice. So it's going to be beans, and I'm not foo fooing it,
Yeah,
but that is tough.
yeah.
That's tough with the world that we live right now. And one thing that I brought up to somebody, and they didn't think about this: if these families have to choose between putting gas in their car to go to work and feeding themselves, guess how many of those families also have pets? And
Mm,
we know how much some of y'all love your pets.
right, right. Right.
How you going to feel in the wintertime as it's getting colder, as you see more and more pets becoming strays
Mm,
because their families cannot feed them anymore?
wow. We sure don't think about the pets.
We don't think about how it
The
all is
entire family.
interconnected. It's all interconnected. So think about that. If you don't care about if the humans eat, okay. Are you okay if the humans decide, hey, I got to eat? So Fifi and Sir Barks a lot don't get to eat today?
Sir barks a lot.
You listen. You know. So I just want people to realize that this world has made us all think that we're individuals, that we're all on an island by ourselves, especially with the algorithm and everything like that. We're all in these little boxes.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. When one of us suffers, when one group suffers, we all suffer. So we all have to stand up. Maybe it's not affecting you directly right now, but there will come a time where what is happening today is going to trickle down to you. So you need to be aware and you need to care and you need to help if you can.
So, what do you say to the people that, they try to, let me not say it that way. What do you say to the people that are not being honest and that maybe they're finagling the number of how much they make and maybe they really make more, but they're not being honest? What do you say to that person that's trying to the people that are really truly trying to get over? What do you say to those? Because it's some people out there that's trying to get over, and there's some people
Listen,
getting over. So what do you
listen.
say to those people?
There was a period of my life that I worked for Texas Health and Human Services. Oh, I know. You see those applications come through where you're like, and just to let y'all know, they have access to a lot of information. They're asking for the paperwork to see if you're honest. Okay. But that computer screen that's in front of those people, those caseworkers, can pull up a lot of information on you. Okay. Um, I would say all you're doing is hurting yourself and other people in the long run. It's the selfishness of it. Like I was saying, everybody's so worried about, let me get all that I can get. Okay, what are you going to do when they get rid of the program? Because they say there's just too much fraud. They come through and they do a Doge cut because Doge is still around. They come around and they do a Doge cut and they get rid of it. And now you have nothing. Not just you, but the people that your homegirl that used to help you, she has nothing for you either. Nobody has anything. What are you going to do? Like, just know whatever you do in the dark comes to the light. And with the new regulations that are cracking down and the new systems in place, not only will you get a lifelong ban, they are talking about making this a felony charge.
Mm,
So you may want to be honest. Just be honest. Be honest because you would be surprised. A family of four, I think the maximum amount of money that they can make is a little bit over $4,000 a month
mm,
to qualify for SNAP.
I see.
Now, so you would be surprised if you're working part-time at Chick-fil-A, you probably going to be able to make that and still qualify without having to lie. So
Yeah,
be honest. That's
that's
all I can say. Be honest.
that's beautiful. So, what other recommendations can you give us? Did we discuss everything that was on our list?
I believe so. We just guys, be in community with each other, help who you can, when you can. And if you are currently struggling because you're a federal worker and you haven't been paid, and you may not get paid next month either, and they're questioning if y'all are going to even get back pay as well, which is wild. um and you're just doing without. You're doing without. I would just say we all have to lean in. We have to lean in. Lean in is a two-part thing. You vote and be aware. Vote and be aware of who's in power and who is fighting for your rights and who is saying tough it out, and then you help each other during this time. That's what our ancestors did, especially
Absolutely.
us at, I mean, we don't have to go that far back. My grandmother is in her 90s,
Hmm.
and still to this day in Louisville, Kentucky, she is helping people
Yeah.
whatever she can.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what you do. You help each other. That's how she was able to raise 6 kids in Louisville, Kentucky with my grandfather. You have a community, and that's how we're all going to make it. We have to get back to actual community, actual seeing each other, going and knocking on doors and talking to each other without the screens between us. That's what we got to get back to.
Right. So, what do you say to the person that they're not on Snap? They don't need Snap. What do you say to them? What do they need to do?
Be first of all, it don't think that um that will be always, anything can change. Anything can change. And I would say if you don't have enough savings to where you could be unemployed for a year or longer, you're closer to being on SNAP benefits than you are to being best friends with Mark Zuckerberg. Okay? So keep that in mind. And if you have extra, you have an abundance, share. No one's asking you to cut off your left arm or anything like that. But if you have extra, if you can, share. That's it. I'm one of those elder millennials. I was raised on Mr. Rogers, and Mr. Rogers told us to find the helpers. Well, guess what, elder millennials, if you're 40 plus, 30 plus, you are now the helpers.
All
You're the
right.
people that people are supposed to be finding right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So step into your role and be the helpers. If you can't help, help. And if you need help, receive the help.
So I want to retell the story that my bishop talked about this. We keep talking about our bishop. We go to Day Spring Family Church. So,
Yes.
and actually, I need to post that. I'm gonna post a link to his message, and it talked about having hope, in these trying times. So he talked about one of his neighbors who called and said, "You know what? I want to give you a donation for your church." Because
Mhm.
I know your church is out there. You have a food bank. I know you're out there helping the community. Is it okay if I give you a donation? And of course, Bishop is like, absolutely. You can absolutely donate. So I say that to say, if you're in the urban area, there you definitely can check out Day Spring Family Church. We do have a food bank. There are
Yes.
other opportunities out there. You just need to go ahead and Google and search. Now we've got AI. There's no excuse. All you gotta do
There's
is Google research. Get your phone. Speak
it,
into it.
exactly. Exactly. And oh, I would be remiss if I did not say, especially if you are in Irving ISD. Irving ISD, on almost every campus, they have something called a parent liaison. Okay? Many of them are bilingual. They speak in English and Spanish and other languages as well, and they are there to help you find resources. They not just food and clothing for you and your family. They also help you if you want to do uh, um, career enhancement. You want to take extra classes. Maybe you need to learn English as a second language. Your parent liaison at an Irving ISD school can help you. That is one of there are a lot of things that I can say about Irving ISD, but I will tell you 100% Irving ISD parent liaisons are some of the hardest working people, most caring people I have ever, ever had the pleasure to meet and work with. And so I am telling you, if you have children that are in Irving ISD, go to your campus and say, I need to talk to the parent liaison. They will be able to help you. I promise
Wow.
you. And Dallas ISD has it. Sometimes they're called the community liaison or community outreach. There's so many resources, but people aren't tapping into it. And so when it gets reported back, it's this isn't a service that's needed in our schools. This isn't a service that's needed in our
Because
communities
they're not tapping into it.
because they don't know and they're not tapping into it. Okay. There's another great here in South Dallas. It's an organization called For Oak Cliff. For Oak Cliff. It is they have after school programs. They have a boxing program. They do back to school giveaways for Oak Cliff, FOR Oak Cliff. Guys, it's out here, Pan African bookstore. I could go on and on and on and on and on. And this is just me getting out there, packing all my kids in my van and saying on a Saturday, come on, let's go see what they're doing over here. Okay. I'm not going to send you somewhere that I haven't tried myself or at least
That's
talk to the people about. So
that's good.
anything that I put out there, I have talked to the people about. I know people that have used it or I have used these services myself.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, I want to thank you for taking this opportunity to share. And I just want to let everybody know that this is not the very last time we're going to talk about this. We're going to keep you all posted. If there's anything new that happens that we need to communicate, we're just going to jump on and just go live and just let you know of anything that we can run across that could help you. So just go ahead, Google and search food banks, food pantries in your area. I know in the Arlington area, there's a Tarrant area food bank. In Irving, there's Day Spring Family Church, which is an arm of the North Texas Food Bank. You can actually go to the North Texas Food Bank and search for one in your area. So if you need food, go there and there's just search, just like the woman of God just told us. Get out there and look. Get out there and find it. Empower yourself. Empower yourself. Don't wait on anybody else. Because when you wait on other people, it just don't happen.
It just don't
Because
happen.
your interest is not their interest. Your life is not their life. So you have to empower yourself and take charge of your life. And I realize that, when you're facing a situation where you're not getting a paycheck, you feel like you've lost your power. But guess what? God is still in control. And I know you say, "Oh, Sheila, you still working. You getting a paycheck." It's easy for you to say, but it's the only thing I have for you. This is what I know, that the Lord God will sustain you. He will make a way for you. Trust me, He will. If you trust Him, He will do it. He will do
Yeah.
it. He
Yeah.
will
And
do
I
it.
hate and I know it's street, but a closed mouth don't get fed. So you
Right?
gonna have to speak up. You gonna have to speak up. And I'm not just talking about just, let me have a moment, but I'm not just talking about, you asking for help for, paying bills or your food. I'm talking about go to God in prayer with
Mm-hmm.
a honest and open heart. You
Mm-hmm.
will be surprised by what will be answered. Okay. And I won't go too deep into it because I was told not to tell the people that helped me. But um this last week I've been praying to God and I was like, God, you know how much I need to make bills
Mm-hmm.
and you know how much food I need to feed all these boys. Um, you gonna have to make something happen, because I'm I'm out here, God. Help me, help me. And he has come through. He has put it on the hearts of to be people to want to be his hands and his feet in my life to come and help. Even if it's just a word, like, I haven't had a full-time job in a year and a half.
Wow.
I In a year and a half, and it is not for lack of trying. Trust me. Right now, I did onboarding on October 9th, and I still have not started this job.
Mm.
And I'm sitting here like, okay,
What up with that?
what's happening? So, it's tough out here. But listen, you got to open up your mouth. Be honest. Say, I need help, not just to the people around you, but to God. You can pray to God. One of the people from the Bible that I love is David. David would go in on God
He was
until
going in like, Lord, I know, create in me a clean heart. I know I'm a sinner. I have sinned against thee and thy word only.
listen, he had days where he was like, take me out, God, because this too much. It's just too much. I don't even want to deal with it no more.
Yeah, he
Okay,
did.
so if David was able to do that, and that's a man after God's own heart, what more can we do? Come on. God has heard it all. Trust me, he's heard it all. You're not going to hurt his feelings. You're not going to hurt his feelings. He is not a
Right,
man.
right.
So go ahead, be honest, and say, God, I need your help. Okay, hands off of it. Take the wheel, the engine, the carburetor, all
Like
of it,
that.
all of it, because I need you, Jesus. Fix it, and
And you
and
know,
and it'll happen. It'll
I
happen.
know it's cliche to say he may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. But he's
He
always on.
is. He
He's,
he
he
is
come in the nick of time every single time. You feel like it's too
every.
late, but he come in the nick of time. But you got to be one of his though.
And you
That's
got to be willing to, like I said, be willing to get the help. We've all heard that story where it's the joke of the man that the flood waters were rising and he's praying to God, send me help, send me help. And a man came by in a boat. He's like, oh no, I'm waiting for God. Somebody came with a helicopter. No, I'm waiting for God. Then the waters come and he gets to the pearly gates and he goes, God, why don't you come save me? He said, well, I sent you a boat and a helicopter. You know,
in that sense that it may not come packaged the way you expect.
absolutely. It's gonna come in the most. I say God loves playing jokes on me because the way God sends answers to my prayer, I'll be like, oh, so you got jokes. So you just up there hee hee ha ha right now, huh? Okay. Because it's never the way that I have it. I'm like, okay, God, this is how you're gonna show that,
Mhm.
this is from you. God's like, girl, ain't nobody listening to you. Yeah.
I got this. I got this.
Yeah. How dare you tell me how I'm gonna bless you? Here you go, girl. Is you gonna take it or not? Because just because a blessing's given to you doesn't mean you have to take it. And some of
Absolutely.
y'all are walking around struggling because you don't want to take the blessings. But that's a don't I'm not an elder or a pastor like you,
She a
Elder Sheila.
preacher though, y'all. She try to act like she
I,
not.
I'm gonna let y'all have that.
She got the word. But I do want to thank you. I want to thank you for this opportunity. And like I said, we will definitely, if something comes up, we're going to hop back on and we're going to keep you all posted. We're going to be checking on y'all, make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
I just pray for everyone who may be experiencing lack right now. I pray that the hand of the Lord would touch and that he will make a way. We call on Jehovah Jireh to supply every need according to his riches and glory, knowing that we can do all things through Christ that strengthen us. So as we do all things, as we go through the pandemic, as we this it's not a pandemic, it's a government shutdown. As we
Shut
go through the
down.
shutdown, we go through all the things, we thank you that we can do all things, meaning we can make it through, that you will hold us, you will sustain us, you will make it ways for us, you will open doors. We thank you for credit on people's bills. They don't even know where it came from, but maybe you didn't give them the cash, but you gave them the credit. Thank you for somebody just dropping food off on their porch. You may not even know who they are. Thank you for somebody coming through and just sliding a few dollars in their hand with a handshake. Thank you, God, for making a way. Thank you for giving your people the peace of God that surpasseth all understanding, that they will trust in you with all their heart, knowing that some kind of way It's going to work together for the good. Some kind of way, you're going to bring them out. Some kind of way, you're going to make a way out of no way. We come into agreement with you now, and we say that it is so. So trust in Him like never before. Trust Him when you can't trace Him. Trust Him when you cannot see Him, and watch Him make a way. Don't try to tell Him how to do it. Like the woman of God said, raise your hands and say, God, I lift my hands to you. So I lift my hands so my hands ain't on it. I'm giving it to you. You handle it, God. You
You
handle
handle it. You
it.
handle it. And y'all stay in prayer for me because I'm like I said, I'm stirring up good trouble over here. And word is the wonderful Miss Jasmine Crockett might be running for Senate. So, you know, you know,
Yeah.
y'all pray because your girl loves politics. So
Okay.
don't be surprised if you see me a couple more places because
Okay. Okay. We're gonna be looking. We're gonna be watching. We're gonna be waiting, and we will be supporting.
I appreciate
We will
it.
be
I appreciate it.
supporting. All right, everyone. You all have a great day. I ask that you would go ahead and share. Somebody needs to hear what was said tonight, and we will be checking on you guys soon. This has been Touching You Talk Show. Have a great day, everyone.